What's one thing people were taught in school back in the days that is totally wrong or outdated now? Scene mention was learning about Rosa Parks, and they framed it like she was just tired and didn't want to give up her seat, and it happened to be a powerful statement that helped this movement start. It was almost a decade later that I learned this was absolutely a planned protest and the woman knew exactly what she was doing. And what a risk it was. I'm still angry at them for taking that away from her. Late 90s, so not super long ago. And the nuns told all the girls that if they went swimming in a pool at the same time as boys, they would get pregnant because the sperm would swim through the water. The nuns as teachers thing was already being phased out at this time. So all the regular teachers would reassure everyone this was total BS. We had mandatory chorus music until the 6th grade. Once I got into 7th grade, I opted out and haven't sang since. Forced singing is not beneficial to everyone, as they too frequently like to preach. For some of us it was torture and a form of public embarrassment. If you need to go to the restroom, you'll just have to hold it until class is over. I've read at least a couple of stories right here on Reddit from folks who suffered urinary tract infections and even kidney damage because of that BS. I was in high school in the late 2010s. My French textbook was old enough that my mum could have used it. They still used francs and talked about email like it was some crazy new invention. The youth slang was laughable. That you needed 8 pieces of bread and 4 glasses of milk every single day in order to be healthy. The hold that the agricultural industry had on early childhood education in the US is actually cartoonishly insane. I'm from Russia, and we were taught to always listen to those who are older, not to stand out from the crowd and not to take the initiative, trying to be like everyone else. It's horrible and destructive to life. Classes are liquid. You can tell by looking at glass from old buildings 300 years and see how they are thicker at the bottom of the pane than the top. Yeah, it's fully BS. The windows were designed that way. History. There was a huge movement by Dixie's daughters to write it. It's still struggling to be uncovered now with new antiquated laws. That's why history remains an important academic discussion. Marijuana will turn you into a depraved drug addict who lives on the streets and commits violent crimes to get high. And it can happen after using it just one time. Also, Pluto is a planet. Double spacing, Jenks and boomers didn't understand why you needed to do that for typewriters. What they learn on and pass that knowledge on to us that didn't apply to word processors. Elementary school in the 80s. I distinctly remember being taught that the US warned Japanese citizens before the bombings of Hiroshima and Nagasaki, and that almost no one died. That your veins look blue because blood is blue before receiving oxygen. Little dumb child me thought it was the coolest thing when my teacher told us that you can be anything you want if you work hard enough. I'm not Michael Jordan, and she still makes $30,000 a year to teach idiots like me. I was in grade school in the early 90s and got yelled at for pointing out that we screwed the natives out of their land. In 3rd grade we were taught square dancing all year. I can still do it, but have never used it in the 50 years since. Captain Cook discovered Australia. The nerve of Europeans to say they discovered places with indigenous inhabitants. A brontosaurus is now a brachiosaurus. I know this because a 4-year-old told me, and they're dinosaur experts. Taste zones on the tongue. The food pyramid. The different learning styles: auditory, kinesthetic, visual. The fucking food pyramid. I only learnt in the last few years in my 30s now that it's a load of shit. In math my teacher would always say you won't always have a calculator on you in the real world. There is always a peaceful transition of presidential power in the United States of America. That Europeans colonizing the Americas was a mostly peaceful process of settling empty land. That Freud wasn't just a cokehead megalomaniac with first mover advantage. Young gang for life. When I was a child there was thought to be 9 planets, but now there are 90 planets. Columbus discovered America. I really can't believe we were actually taught that. I get free narcotics from strangers on the street corners and in Halloween candy. Creationism. But to be fair, it was totally wrong and outdated then too. You can now make more money at a McDonald's than working in a school. I've written a check less than 20 times and it's been a few years. I before I expect after see as way too many exceptions to be a rule. You won't just have a calculator in your pocket at all times.